Alright, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. I kind of just wanted to do this video now that I've actually made it to like the higher tiers of Splatoon ranked. Kind of just been putting a lot of my thoughts together and a lot of stuff just to kind of include it into a video. This is kind of a video I've been wanting to do for a while and I've had planned for the entire time since Splatoon 3 launched. Overall, as a solo player, now after being in like the higher tiers of ranked, after making it to S plus and being S plus and above for more than a week now, I can say as a solo player, I think Splatoon 2 ranked, at least in your higher tiers of play, was leagues and bounds better than Splatoon 3 is currently. We're going to talk about it. If you guys like these types of videos, leave a like, subscribe, and share the video. I got a bunch more Splatoon stuff on the way, and I also stream the game. So if you guys don't want to miss out on that, subscribe and turn on notifications. Now, overall, if you guys, some of you guys have been watching me, I've been streaming Splatoon ranked. I think I've been streaming like once or twice a week over the last couple weeks. We finally made it to S plus and above. Been kind of just playing as much as ranked as possible over this past week, and just kind of mainly for this type of video because I've been kind of wanting to put this type of video together for you guys. Now, keep in mind, this is just as a solo player. I think if you have at least a duo, ranked isn't as bad. But I think as a solo player, I think Splatoon 2 is definitely the better ranked format, and it was way better with ranked back in that game than it is with Splatoon 3. The main reason, I think, especially in your higher tiers of game, higher tiers of play for like the game right now, is that like once, at least it seems like once I reached like S tier, it wasn't as bad when I got into S tier, but like after reaching like S plus, like there is a really serious lack of weapon diversity in this game right now, which will be fixed over time. I think we just really need some new weapons in the game right now. We have what, like 40? I think we have more than 40 weapons. I think we have around about 60 weapons or something close to that in the game right now. I haven't looked how many exactly we have, but we only have one variant to each weapon pretty much, so you take that and add those together. It's not really that many weapons, and there's a lot of kits for weapons that weapons are just really missing right now. The main thing that makes ranked boring and overall just really boring and frustrating to play in your higher tiers is mainly the lack of weapon diversity right now. Once you get into your higher tiers of play, like you're seeing the same 24 weapons. Like every single game, it is like legit every single game. It may be on depending on the mode. Like for Clan Blitz, you'll see a few more brushes than usual, and if you're playing like towers and stuff, you'll see some like blasters because those are better in towers and stuff. Depending on the mode, you'll see a little bit different like weapons. Like overall, it's the same like 24 weapons right now, just being played almost in every single game and on every single team. It just gets really boring, and it's just really frustrating, like, to play against that every single game. It really is, and especially with the lack of weapon balance we've actually gotten so far. Like they said, they're going to be giving us a patch here at, I think, mid-November, or I think the end of December, with, like, some major balance changes to a lot of the weapons and, like, subs and, like, specials. But, like, even for, like, gear right now, like, there's some really broken gear in this game. Mainly last-ditch effort, which everybody's running right now. It is pretty much a steroid in a lot of your game modes. If you guys don't know how it works, pretty much it's based off the count timer on the enemy team. If you get below, I think, 50, it procs like a half proc, and it gives you like half of the abilities, like the abilities that the ability has. And then I think once you get below like 40 or 30 in like a certain game mode, whether it's Splat Zones, Rainmaker, in pretty much in all the modes, like below that on your side or the enemy side, like if they get that lead on you, then it procs full and you get all the benefits from the weapon. It's pretty much like legit like 3 abilities, like 3 entire pieces of gear put into one ability at that point. It's just fucking busted, and it's just not fun to play against. Same with Ninja Squid right now. They need to nerf Ninja Squid because in your higher tiers of games, everybody in your games is legit running Ninja Squid. Like the 2 main abilities right now that people are running and abusing is Ninja Squid because it does not have enough speed drawback to the point where you're better off just running it no matter what weapon you play and whatever you're doing. It's just there's no drawback to running it because the speed penalty you get from it is just not harsh enough. And then you're running a last-ditch effort pretty much on every single build. like at least in 90% of your builds, depending on what you play. It's just the same ability. It's really difficult playing that and playing against that in the majority of your games. It really is. Like I said, this will be fixed over time mainly. Like, we just needed huge balance changes for this game right now, and that's the one thing that's really holding ranked back. I do think ranked can be a lot better, but at least right now, that's like the main stuff we're lacking. In your lower tiers of play, though, I think the ranked is actually really fun. When I was going through my lower tier games, at least from what I've been seeing from a lot of other people that aren't as good as me and are kind of just in their lower tiers, and they've always been like your average casual type average player in your lower tiers, like B, C, B, A tier type players. Like, you can see a lot of weapons. You can pretty much play whatever weapon you want in those tiers, and you see pretty much everything being played. And if you know how to play it at least decently, you can make it work. So in those tiers, like, the balancing and the weapons aren't as bad. It's just mainly when you get to your higher tiers of play. I think that's where stuff is kind of just struggling right now. And it's kind of just really boring and really frustrating. Like, we did get a little bit of balance, like some mini tiny balance changes for the 1.2.0 patch here that got released like a couple days ago, at least when I'm recording this. But like the balance changes they did to that didn't even do anything. Those balance changes did not do anything to any of the weapons and any of the sub. Or like, I think the Fizzy Bomb got nerfed slightly, and then they nerfed some of the special all charge points on some of the weapons, which didn't do anything. And then I think they fixed some bugs with Ultra Stamp, which is a little bit better now, but it's still really bad. Apart from that, like, nothing with that patch at all changed the game at all. So I don't know. I feel like some of the maps right now as well, like, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below, but like, I feel like there's just a lot of bad maps in the game too that kind of make rank frustrating. They aren't as bad in your lower tier games because a lot of people don't really know what they're doing, and you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff easier. But like in your higher tier games, like, there's some maps in the game, mainly Mahi Mahi Resort, Hammerhead Bridge, and then Undertow Spillway. Like, all the game modes in ranked on these maps are just fucking garbage. And they are just poorly designed maps. They are some of the worst maps I think the game has had. Like, visually, they're great, and for Turf War, they're really fun, but for ranked and in the ranked game modes, they're just awful. They really are. I think that's the one thing that you take away from a lot of the maps. Like, most of the other maps, like a lot of the older maps that were in like towards the end of Splatoon 2, and there's a few other ones that are actually really good that are newer. A lot of those maps are good, but like, it's just mainly these three maps. Like, those three maps are the ones that are really bad. I think they should take those out of ranked. I really do not think they should even be put into ranked. They are just so bad to play on. I don't know. And like, at least for like the ranked matchmaking to like the overhaul to ranked. Splatoon 2, like, you had the ranked bar. Like, there was a bar with like progress, like a progress meter, and you had a threshold you had to pass every rank to where either you would drop a rank or maintain your rank. Very simple. And it was pretty much the same thing every time. If you got 3 or 4 losses, you would drop a certain amount, and if you were not above the threshold for that rank, you would drop an entire rank. For this, they spread it into 2 different types of ranked. Now we have open queue, and now we have series. Series can be good if you got a really good team, and if you get really good matchmaking, which is really, really bad right now. I think the matchmaking for Anarchy series ranked right now is some of the worst shit ever, especially in your higher tier games. In your lower tiers, it's not as bad because if you can carry and you know what you're doing, you can pretty much carry a team of bums on your back, especially in your low tier games like C, B tier, and like even like your lower tier A tier games. Like, once you start getting to S tier and like your S plus tier games, if you're the only person on your team that knows what they're doing, you get paired with a team of bums and losers every single game, you just get destroyed. And I think this is some of the worst matchmaking, at least me as a solo queue player playing solo, is some of the worst shit I've had in a long time. I don't even remember it being this bad in Splatoon 2. I think the matchmaking in Splatoon 2 was leagues and bounds better than it is right now. I feel like once you get to the higher tier ranks, especially going past S plus now, the games are so one-sided, and it's pretty much comes down to luck. It's 50-50 luck. 50% skill-based, and then 50% luck-based. Just based on your team, pretty much. And if you don't get paired with a bunch of bums, or at least have 3 people on your team that are at least decent, and know what they're doing, and don't throw your match, or don't do anything stupid the entire time. I don't know. That's if you're playing series. And then if you're playing open queue as a solo player, the matchmaking is a little bit better, but then you're being paired against duos, trios, and 4 stacks on the enemy team as a solo player. That is the major problem with open queue. So they're both really bad. Yeah, you're losing less points. You lose 5 points after you get past S plus, but like, yeah, you're losing less points per game, but it's still even like you're lucky to even get some really solid games in open queue at your higher tiers, because for some reason it thinks it's funny to pair solo queue players versus duos, trios, and 4 stacks almost every other game. I have never had it this bad at all. And this wasn't a thing in Splatoon 2. You had, I think there was League Battle. I think it was League where you could only able to actually pair up in ranked. I think that's what it was. So if you wanted to rank in Splatoon 2, you had to play League, or I think there was like, I forgot what the other mode was. There was another entire separate mode where you were only able to pair in ranked. Like there was a separate type mode, and even if you did, I think it would limit you or something. I forgot how it exactly works because I haven't played the game, and I know it's been a while already. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I really want to know. And there's gonna be some people that say, "Oh, well, the reason why you're struggling and you think Splatoon 3 ranked is bad, bro, is because either you're really bad at the game or it's because you choose to play sticks over motion controls most of the time. That's why you've hit a ceiling. You've hit a ceiling and you just think the game's bad and you're blah blah blah." I'm gonna tell you guys right now, like that argument. I know there's gonna be some people that bring that argument up. Number one, if I wanted to and I want to learn motion controls, I probably could. I've tried to learn them in the past, and I just don't have the time to learn them fully and invest that into the game. And the main reason why I don't want to learn them and like do that is because I play a bunch of other games. Splatoon isn't the only game I played. If Splatoon 3 was the only game I would be playing, I would 100% be playing motion controls. I play a bunch of other games that I also play sticks and that type of same thing on, such as like Overwatch 2, Paladins, and like Apex Legends. At least me as a player and like me personally, I prefer being able to switch between games without huge like differences and like drastic changes between games. If I'm constantly playing motion controls on Splatoon 2 and then I go and switch to Apex Legends, man, am I going to be thrown off. Especially if I'm playing Splatoon for like a week or something and I go back to playing Apex, I'm going to have my aim thrown off. I'm not going to know what the fuck's going on. And it's just going to really screw me up. That's reason number one. Reason number two why that argument does not matter, and I know somebody still is going to say it, like I said, I was playing sticks the majority of Splatoon 2, and I made it to X rank by playing sticks in Splatoon 2, and after I made it to X rank in Splatoon 2, I maintained my rank the entire time while playing sticks. There you go. Argument grounded at that point. I don't know why people always bring that up, but that's something I have to address with this type of video as well. I don't know. That's the main reasons why. There you go. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know I like the main thing too. I think the Splatoon 2 ranks system was just a lot more simple. Like the rank system for this game is you have two separate ones, and they're both majorly flawed in some way, whether it's the matchmaking or that type of thing. One of them you're allowed to play solo and you're allowed to rank with people, and then you're being paired against 3 and 4 stacks most of the time, and even duos as a solo queue player. And then the other one, the matchmaking is only solos, but the matchmaking so bad to where you're just getting one-sided games almost every game, every other game if you're lucky. You're very rare to have an actual good match, like a competitive back and forth game right now in your higher tiers of ranked. Maybe in your mid to lower tiers it's not as bad. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot more carry potential on the individual players in those ranks. That's the main reason why, and it comes down to the player. But in your higher tier games, it's the worst it's ever been. I do 100% prefer, at least as of right now when I'm making this video, it might change in the future with, like I said, once they add more weapons to the game, we start getting some actual, like, legit weapon balance for a lot of the weapons in the game that are actually really good, and start buffing some of the ones that you don't see played as much, or, like, that are a lot worse than some of the other ones. I think that can change, but we're just waiting on a patch right now, and the next patch, the least major patch we're going to be getting is not until, like, the end of November at the very earliest, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below if there's something I did not talk about. Kind of just one of those more of like rant talk type videos. If you guys like these types of videos, show some support. And if this video does well, I'll keep on doing these types of videos in the future. 100% opinionated. If you guys don't agree with me on something, that's completely fine. Like I said, it's mainly just me as solo queue. Like I said, if you're playing with people in ranked, I think ranked right now, at least if you have like a duo or more, isn't too bad, at least from personal experience. This is mainly as solo queue in your higher tier ranked games. Apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys in a future video.